as a team leader, as a recruiter, you will pick up the phone call to call listings. I know you will, because otherwise you wouldn't be a leader. You wouldn't be making money in real estate. You'd be on somebody else's team, right? So like, let's just make the assumption that you're down to go pick up the phone for money. What you don't realize is that a middle of the road agent on your team, a lifetime value is minimum 4x the best client you've ever had. Take your best client. The one you've done, you've helped them buy 3 houses, you've helped them sell 2, and you've helped both of their children buy houses.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. Today, I'm here with my boy, and it's going to be a great guest and great conversation, the one and only Isacc Guzman. Isaac, what's cracking, Isaac?
I'm just grateful to be here, man. I've been watching Reside Platform for a long time. Big fan. Some really good friends and good business people have decided to partner up with you guys. And, just excited to be here, dude. And then right now, I'm guns blazing on the team and growing that. So having fun.
Yeah. Team, tell me about the team.
Team is a restructured, broke it down, right? Started from scratch again type of team. We're really focused right now on growing agent count, right? I mean, that's always been my focus.
Yeah, right.
I don't think anybody right? But I think right now it's really just scaling that and making it a lot more uniform and how we do that stuff, right? And kind of making it a model for expanding out across different markets. I want to be in several markets across Southern California in the next 12 months. And so it's taken a strong look at what would it look like to scale recruiting across multiple markets, not just, I've been in real estate so long, I've been a recruiter so long. If you're a real estate agent in San Diego and my number pops up on your phone, you know what I'm calling for.
Yeah, right.
So there's a certain amount of saturation that I have that enables me to recruit, I think, a little bit better and faster. Well, that doesn't exist when I go into Riverside or Orange County or whatever. I don't have that connection. So what am I going to do to get similar results at a similar pace, but using a process instead of my personality?
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like without having that brand or brand recognition, honestly, and the brand is Isaac calling you.
Yeah,
getting all up on your line.
Yeah, you go to one of those agent like sunset soirees for YPN, and you see me standing there, and you're like, oh, I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. I just signed a new contract, and they paid me to be at Coldwell Banker. Right? You just avoid me altogether. Well, yeah.
Good. That's the reputation that pays the bills, dude. Right?
Heck yeah, dude.
So lately, you've been crushing with recruiting using YouTube, at least for your since you joined LPT, and doing the whole real estate CEOs thing, which, full disclosure, I'm partnered up with Isaac on, but it's not a pitch about that. I really want to talk about what the game is. So, dude, YouTube's been really good for you.
Yeah, it's been great.
Talk about it.
So, all right, I wasn't the first one, right? There's all those other dudes that did it at EXP and whatnot. You got
there's plenty of other ones.
There's plenty of other ones. What I saw was an opportunity. One, I was in on the model early. 2, I saw the ability to scale up, because here's the truth, man. Lots of people do a bad job recruiting.
Yeah,
most people do a bad job recruiting, but it's not actually because their model is bad. Right? It's because they're bad at it.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they spew out, they feature dump, just like all salespeople. Right? They feature dump. Well, those features are things that float around in agents' minds and team leaders' minds, right? But the person that gave them the bad recruiting experience, meaning they were just not good on the phone, they didn't have any way of understanding or relating to them, they weren't having a sophisticated business conversation, right? They go, you know what? I like 2 or 3 of the things that this person just vomited on me. So I'm going to go do independent research. And then they find me, and I have a sophisticated approach to it. And they go, well, this brokerage does make sense, but I don't want to work with that clown that first called me. I want to work with the dude who's answering questions. So that's the whole model. Is I'm going to let everybody else do the work. And obviously, like I'm hamming it up a little bit for theatrics, but like I'm going to let everybody else do the groundwork of making the calls and doing the things and trying to do a lunch and learn and then ruin the pitch.
Because you're showing up on friggin' Google.
Exactly. If you Google LPT Realty and then put in your state, I'm probably the first 3 videos that pop up.
Yes.
So that's my whole thing. And by the way, I didn't learn that from any other place than that's what you do in real estate, right?
Make content? Weird.
Who would have thought?
But like, here's the thing. So you have a video on like the tech that LPT provides.
Yeah.
You have a video on, of course you do. I'm just loading you up with an easy question with the marketing that LPT provides.
Yep.
You have a question on like getting paid fast.
Yep.
You got a video on Office Space.
I don't think I have a video on Office Space, dude. It's a good one.
Yeah. Going in the notepad.
Yeah.
Right. Because this is what I think of as you're talking. So I'm just going to hit up Isaac offline about this. But since people are listening and they're about 6 minutes in deep, now we can give them, maybe they stayed this long, they can hear some goals, some ideas. It's like every time, I've been saying this for years, like most agents and team leaders are looking for about 8 things, right? Training, support, marketing, branding, leads, tech, Office Space, get paid fast.
Yeah.
Right. So you made videos about all of them, except for Office Space, which would be easy because there's plenty of offices.
Yeah.
Right. So I think anyone listening and wants to try and play in that sandbox, that's what you do. Right. Like those could be like your pillar videos.
Yeah. I mean, I call it getting in bed with agents, right? Or getting in bed with team leaders, same thing. And I don't mean physically, right? And like talk to your HR department about that. But I'm talking about like what keeps them up at night, right? What has them tossing and turning in their bed? And then on the flip side of the coin, what gets them to jump out of bed? What's the thing that gets them excited? Like, dude, I can't wait to tackle the day. And if I could just answer the questions about how my model, whether it's LPT or my team or whatever, right? If I could just answer the questions that help them understand if by siding with me, they get those things done, I'm able to put away a lot of the concerns that keep them up at night. And I'm able to put in play a lot of the things that get them up and excited out of bed.
You're talking to your avatar, bro, right? You're talking to the avatar. Are you making recruiting content for the team or no?
I'm starting to now. Yeah.
You're going to run them just on the same channel?
Yeah, I'll run it on the channel for a couple reasons. One is I'm going to be sending those out individually in my my recruiting flow for the team, right? And so when that person clicks that hyperlink in the email, it'll take them to the YouTube channel, and that's just giving me YouTube juice, right? So I might as well synergize them, right? And then also if they understand, so one of the big problems that I had at a previous brokerage was when people left my team, they also left the brokerage because they didn't know any of the benefits of the brokerage.
Sure.
Right. So I want them to also not only experience why they should join my team, but I want them to, let's say they don't join the team. Let's say they move off the team. I want them to still understand why we're at the brokerage we're at, and I would like them to stay. So I think because my YouTube channel right now is primarily LPT, but if I fuse that in there, it's going to cross mix, and I'll have a better retention for people that either don't join the team or people that leave the team to go, well, at least I'm still at the right brokerage.
Good. Super smart. I love it. Let's talk about recruiting a bit. How many recruiting phone calls do you think you've made in your life?
I mean, if I had to quantify that, it's well over, I mean, dude, it's got to be over 20, 30,000.
Over 20,000. Yeah, easy.
I mean, I feel like I did that the first couple years. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we're, I mean, I really think about it, it's probably in the 50,000 range.
Yeah. Easily. So like, nobody wants to make those phone calls. Did you know that?
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah.
I don't want to make them. Yeah. Like, what kind of mindset does somebody need to have to start doing that?
The first mindset is that your enthusiasm for what it is going to fall off right away. So are you the type of person who only shows up when your enthusiasm is at an 8, 9, or 10? Right. And you have to fight through that. You have to realize that like all the money is made when you lack enthusiasm, but still do the thing. Yeah. Right. So I think personally, you got to put your game hat on. Like, I'm just going to say it, former athletes have that muscle that's more developed than non-former athletes. Sure. Because when you grow up playing a sport, guess what? Some days suck. Some tournaments, you're a loser. Sometimes you feel like you lost the step, but you still show up to practice, right? Yeah. So like, first of all, you got to have that mindset of I'm going to show up regardless of how I feel, right? The other thing is this, you also have to have an internal understanding and conviction that you actually have something to offer, right? And
you got to believe it.
You got to have that conviction. right? But here's the way to develop. Isaac, I feel like I have the conviction, but it still doesn't convey right or whatever. There's another part of this. It's not what you, your company, your team provides that they need to hear about. It's also, you need to understand the nonsense that they could be experiencing and the danger of not being part of your team or your brokerage,
Yes.
right?
You
So
might be
what I
throwing
call
them a life jacket.
that's 100% what I'm doing, because I know my competition's models and I know where the breaking points are, where the challenges are, where the pain points are. And I'm here to expose you. Like, if this is my job on my initial calls, is to learn about what you like and dislike about your brokerage or your team, right? I want to learn and understand that, right? And then I want to expose to you why it's more dangerous than you ever thought it could be. If I can just show up and say, I'm here to do an expose on why your brokerage is actually harming you, or why your mindset around this is actually harming you, or could potentially be a bottleneck for you. That's all I'm looking at. Now, the thing is, no brokerage is perfect. So that's 100% applicable to 100% of agents, right? I'm also not arrogant enough to believe that I'm not susceptible to that same level of scrutiny.
Sure.
Right? My team isn't perfect. My brokerage isn't perfect. None of that. But the thing is, nobody else is calling them, helping them expose my weaknesses.
Yeah.
Right? So like, it could be played on me, but people don't have the balls to pick up the phone and make the call and go ahead and call me out and lift my skirt up so that people can expose me. So I'm just going to do it to you first. Right now, the other mindset around making those calls is that you have to understand the math behind the money, because you will, as a team leader, as a recruiter, you will pick up the phone call to call listings. I know you will, because otherwise you wouldn't be a leader. You wouldn't be making money in real estate. You'd be on somebody else's team. All right. So like, let's just make the assumption that you're down to go pick up the phone for money. What you don't realize is that a middle of the road agent on your team, a lifetime value, is minimum 4x the best client you've ever had. Take your best client, the one you've done. You've helped them buy 3 houses. You've helped them sell 2, and you've helped both of their children buy houses. Right? Yeah. You've done $7 million in volume with just that one person and the sources that
maybe in San Diego. Sure, yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking San Diego numbers.
You've done 1.5 million.
You've done $2 to $7 million with that one individual. And you know what? And don't you wish you had 50 of those people inside your pipeline or inside your database? Heck yeah, you do. Right. But the lengths that you will go to get more of them and to service them at the highest level, you won't even do a fraction of that to get a middle of the road agent. But here's what I can tell you. You get a middle of the road agent. I don't mean they're middle of the road human. I'm just saying their production is middle of the road. They're selling 8 to 10 units a year. They're not a complete rock star. They're also not a dud. That person's going to stay on your team an average of like 3 to 4 years. Yeah. They are going to produce more retained company dollar in the lifetime of that 3 to 4 year span than working with those clients. Because by the way, to do those 7 transactions with them, it's been 8.5 years, 10 years, 12 years, right? You've put them in drip emails, you have them on HomeBot, you have them on you're creating all these fancy things to just get that person to transact with you that many times. Dude, you will make more money and have a better life if you just focus on agents. So what you need to realize is whatever motivation you have to make the call for the Zillow lead, for the home value lead, for the fellow lead, for the sign call, whatever things you had to cross over to do that at a high level, this is minimum 4x more important. So pull your pants up and just make the calls.
Yeah. Yeah. What else works?
Yeah, it's true. Well, and here's the other thing too. Nothing is static. Nothing is static. They love their broker. Their broker's their best friend. That's not going to last forever.
Sure.
So when I call you, I need to make you aware that I'm hiring. And then I need to add value over and over and over again. That's that's the game. Pick up and let them know you're hiring. Don't try to hire them. Just let them know you're hiring. And then wait. And then
probably happy you have your current team, but if anything were to change, we'd love to be your destination team.
There's nobody that does it better than the Reside Platform and teaching you the simplicity of just exposing them to the fact that they just need to be aware that you're hiring, and then you're going to add value over time. Some people are going to bite right away. Awesome. We go all in. The other people, we just need to make them aware and then wait.
So, okay. Picking up the phone is the undefeated champion, and it's a champion for a reason because no one does it.
Yep.
What's your phone? If you were to pull it out of the air, what's your call to pickup rate?
30%.
30%. triple line or single line?
I'm going single line nowadays. It used to go triple line.
Why don't you do the triple line anymore?
Because I'm old. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm lazy. Like I could be truthful, right? I could be honest.
Yeah, of course. No one's going to listen to this. Yeah, we have lots of great listeners. What's your phone call to appointment rate?
Probably 20%.
Phone, the amount of phone calls.
Oh, calls. How many calls does it take to get? I'm going to say, pulling it out of thin air, 60.
60 calls?
60 calls. Actually, I'm sorry. If I'm looking at that, it's probably going to actually take me like 120.
Yeah. So
120 dials. I will get someone to say yes. Doesn't even mean they show up. They'll say yes.
That's the data right now, Isaac. About 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just a quiz. That was a totally personal. I asked you that for a selfish reason, just to see what it is.
Yeah, I'm probably less than 1% now that I think about it, just because like I'm real quick to just be like, all right, this is a nurture. I probably shouldn't be as quick, but I don't know. It's also one of those things where I have a bigger database. So my first 18 months, I probably would have been a little bit more like, let me handle this objection. Again, I'm just being truthful. Sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I have a time constraint. I have to be on a podcast or whatever it is. And so I'm like, cool, I just got to get my calls in. And I probably could have asked that one additional question or done that extra thing.
Sure. So in addition to making calls, how else are you recruiting for your team right now?
LinkedIn messaging is always huge.
Really? Always?
Yeah. We still
are you running the LinkedIn messaging right now?
Yeah. By the way, it doesn't. Yeah, automated. Here's the thing. I don't actually know that it works, but I know it works. And here's what I mean by that: is that it doesn't hurt. It can't hurt. It can't possibly
it creates awareness.
That they need to know I'm hiring. Now, here's the other thing. It's the entire ecosystem and the multifaceted, or in the words of John, right, and yourself, the multi-channel approach. So I don't know that LinkedIn isn't working. I don't know that it is, but I know the whole thing is working.
Sure. Well, because
it's hard. It's like billboards, right? Like how do you measure that?
Figure out attribution to anything.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right. And I guess like that's the thing is like, if you look at LinkedIn messaging, so in the 6 years that I ran it, and shout out to everybody who's ever helped me run it, one time did a conversation from within that little sales navigator turn into somebody joining. Right. However, I had tons of other conversations that may have nurtured something years later that it's the whole attribution thing. Good. So you got picking up the phone, LinkedIn. What else?
Webinars. Webinars are fun. Lead magnets that lead to webinars. Those are good. That's what we're working on. I'm revamping all my stuff right now. We have a new like agent levels program where like, hey, the more real estate you sell, you get these fun perks, right? People have them. And we're running a webinar around that on a weekly basis. Around like, hey, learn how to scale your business. And aren't you tired of teams not helping you build your brand, right? All this stuff. And so like anything we can do around that, we're doing a lot of recruiting. In addition to that, because I'm inside of a cloud-based brokerage that has revenue share, it's super easy to just like, this is a ninja one right here. If you're at a brokerage that has revenue share, right? Because this is going to work at all of them. Doesn't matter which brokerage you're at. If it has revenue share, you're going to have people that care about revenue share, right? And you're going to have a local presence of people that are in different downlines and uplines and sidelines. I don't know what they're all about, but they have their licenses. You like that? Yeah, because there's all kinds of weird stuff coming out all the time.
I don't know, dude. You're the go-to. Yeah, I just ask you.
So, but the point is this, dude, one of the best things, get your local brokerage people in a room, train them, do whatever you got to do, feed them tacos, I don't care, but get them in a room and they go, hey, whoever's interested in building your downline, like building revenue share and passive income through revenue share, because they're already exposed to it, right? These are already people inside the brokerage. I'm not recruiting anybody to the brokerage in this conversation. Here's what I do is I help them understand the number one reason that you're not doing it is because it's way too hard to maintain a downline as an individual trying to be the main source of value. So here's what happens. In those types of brokerages, people go and they go, I want to build passive income. I'm going to be the best, whatever. And most of the time, this is not the hard rule, but it's the loose rule. Most of the time, you only attract people that are less productive than you. Right. Well, when you attract people that are less productive than you, you end up becoming their de facto mentor, trainer, therapist, right? Like you become all these things, and then they don't sell as much real estate, or it's not as fruitful, or they leave because they joined some team or whatever. And you go, oh, this is not worth it, right? Because the energy in doesn't yield as high a energy out, or like results out. So what I do is I just go to them and go, hey, listen, still do all the things in terms of like getting them interested in the model. Then introduce them to me. I'll give them leads. I'll give them training. I'll be their mentor. Not me personally, my team will be their mentor, their trainer, their therapist. And by the way, we're going to hold them accountable. We're going to help them manage their time, all the things that they were relying on you. So just build your downline through sending me agents. You can have the sponsorship. You'll be their sponsor at this brokerage, right? But let them join the team with me. Because for me, this is the short-sightedness of a lot of teams inside these models, is they go, well, if you're going to join my team, you also got to be part of my downline.
Yeah,
like, dude, you're tripping over 700. Yeah, you're tripping over $700, and you're on your way to 50,000.
Yeah, totally.
Right. So that's the easiest layup recruiting that I'm doing right now, is going, who wants to build their downline? Great. Just send me all the people that you're talking to.
What about webinars? How do you get the traffic to the webinar?
Email lists, right? Running ads. Meta. Running ads. We've dabbled in YouTube. The problem with that is, for the local team, I can't be as focused as I'd like to be, especially because like my YouTube channel specifically is a national one. So it kind
of
international. You're right. I did a Canadian video just the other day.
Yeah, good. What about you did not say Indeed, dude?
Oh yeah, running ads on job boards.
Okay. I was gonna say, are you not running job ads right now?
We are. Big time.
How the email game, is it good, or is it being worked on?
It's being worked on, dude. I could be better at it. I'm like, you're really good at that. I'm not good at it. I burn domains and blacklist myself all the time. Like, I need to be more sophisticated with that approach. And
sophisticated with it. I live in that place now. I'm the expert now.
Yeah, dude. So that's the thing, is like understanding that concept, but here's where I'm going in on it. And maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong, but like a big part of it is having the same exact message going out from my server to lots of people that don't respond is going to be challenging. Right. And so like using some version, and this is something I'm exploring literally next week with the company that my buddy runs, is like, well, when you use AI, every message can be different without you having to write a different message, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could change it based on like previous behavior, or you can just not send to people that don't. Like, you can just sunset your list.
Yeah.
Right. Like this week. So my strategy is, if I'll send multiple emails in 1 week, I'll hit the whole list on day one, and then on day 3, when I do another send, it'll only go to the engaged list, which consists of people who opened the email in the last 30 days, who clicked a link in 60 days. And the next week, so then, like, for example, I got an open rate of 41% on Monday, 65% on Wednesday, and 65% on Friday.
Makes sense. Yeah. So that's the level of sophistication. And I don't even know if that's like would be considered sophistication. I think it's discipline and monitoring, really, that I currently lack. I'm just being transparent. Like, I could be better at that.
But the whole thing is as long as emails are going out, then that's what really counts.
Yeah. 100%.
Right. Good. So what else is working in recruiting, dude?
I mean, the age old, who do you know? Right? Whenever I have a value. So like a good example, I just landed Zillow and Open Door right here in San Diego for my team. Like 2 separate things, right? Zillow Flex and then Open Door seller, like agent-led offers, whatever it is. We just got those. Texting people. Thank you. And we're super excited about it, by the way. I say it nonchalant, but like I couldn't be more pumped.
Sure.
It's reaching out to productive agents that I know. And I go, hey, listen, this is probably not the right fit for you, but like, do you know anybody who would like to meet with 4 to 10 sellers a week? And they go, me.
It really is that amount of sellers. Yeah. Dude, good for you that you got it. I didn't even know that you were talking to him.
Yeah, dude. Like it just fell in my lap because of Keith, my buddy. He's boys with them and all that. And they were like, hey, we need a new pilot team in San Diego. And he was like, oh, I know the guy.
Yeah. I was beta. I was number 1.
Nice.
Well, what are you excited with on the team besides all that cool shit you just said?
Well, I mean, honestly, there's probably 2 major things. One is like, I don't know a world, and I could be wrong and like whatever, but I don't know a world where good, well-priced listings, that are marketed well, running open houses at those on the first 2 weekends or when we get a price reduction is the best lead generation an agent on my team can do. So in working with sources like Fellow and then having open door listings and then our own, like if I could, what I'm most excited about is just having an army of listings out there working for me.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna make money on those listings, but the combination of how we approach marketing, both through our internal marketing and our affiliation with LPT, listings beget more listings, and it kind of cycles more and more, right? And then in addition to that, one of the number one problems I've always had and will always have, but I feel like it's a little bit more reprieve, is what are agents doing to generate business that's actually producing results, as opposed to just putting them on a dialer and saying make 200 calls today so you can feel productive. Right. So getting them and at open houses and getting them to every time we have a listing, we get like this whole marketing kit, right, with like flyers and door hangers and all these things. And so like being able to get the listing, order that marketing kit branded to a buyer's agent and saying, here's your job for the week is awesome. It works really well because they don't have to come back and question what's happening. They're getting really good results. I don't have to give them too much guidance, right, into like what you're doing this week. And then additionally, what it does is it helps us sell the listing faster. So it produces the results. It gives them something to do. That's what I'm super excited about. The other thing I'm super excited about is like I have a good line of sight to expand this across California, and specifically Southern California is where I really want to be. And so that's another thing I'm excited about is just systematizing the entire process and scaling this out across SoCal.
Awesome, dude. If somebody wants to reach out to you and learn more about what you're doing or talk about LPT or send you a referral, where should they go?
Probably the best place to go to just connect with me is Instagram. That's probably the easiest way to do it. It's at I am Isacc G. My name is spelled ISACC. It's a weird way of spelling Isaac. I am Isacc G on Instagram is probably the easiest way to learn about everything I'm doing because I'm just like always posting. And then I read all my DMs. And then if you want to just learn more about us, you can also check out the YouTube channel, Real Estate CEOs, youtube.com/@realestateCEOs, plural. That's where I think that's an easy way to learn about LPT without having to talk to me, the sales guy. Right, because I'm gonna recruit you. You book a one-on-one with me, dude. Like we're having a recruiting conversation. Fair game. I'm just being fair. Fair warning. So if you want to do it without the pressure of me trying to close you for the next appointment or meet with a CEO or whatever, then just go watch the YouTube channel.
Yeah, right on, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. I love talking recruiting with you, bro.
Always, dude. I appreciate you, dude.
It's so much fun, guys. I hope you got something out of this and got some inspiration and more information of knowing what's working. I could pen that as kind of the ending of the podcast.
I like that.
And inspiration. Okay. Gotta remember that. Hopefully you got inspired and got some value out of this. Go follow Isaac. He's a stud. Him and I were old friends and we worked together on a cool project. Click like, click subscribe, share with a friend, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast.